things. A lot of people develop a little system of whenever they see a reversal transition, meaning it's shifting the direction of the paragraph, they circle it, because they know that's an important clue to how this paragraph is organized. So, do you see any other reversal transitions in this paragraph? Especially up toward the beginning? What's another reversal transition?
After a certain point?
Yeah, Sandra?
Weather, where it said weather.
No. Sandra knows where this is.
How about words that come to mind?
No.
That come to mind?
Let's read it. Think about what this says. Mastering new vocabulary, whether for reading or writing, involves regularly collecting and reviewing new words.
But,
Yeah.
where it says
I knew
but.
Sandra knows where it is. Okay. So if we just read down to here, mastering new vocabulary, whether for reading or writing, involves regularly collecting and reviewing new words. What this sentence says is that these are both the same, right? Both of them involve regularly collecting and reviewing new words. Okay? So this is saying they're the same. But the headline, the title says they're different. So as Sandra points out, this is a really important word here. But mastering a reading vocabulary and mastering a writing vocabulary are different. Whenever you see a reversal transition in the second sentence or close to the top like that, what that means is it's taking the paragraph in another direction. This paragraph is not going to talk about how they're the same. It's going to talk about how they're different. Okay? What does the rest of this part talk about as far as organization? What's this
Reading.
section about?
Reading.
This is about the reading. Oh, Sandra, can we see your paper? Can we look at your paper? I remember it. Yeah. I remember that you had this. Yeah, Sandra, I knew Sandra saw this. She has the answer right here. This section's about reading, here's her reversal transition, and this section is about writing. If I had asked you how this paragraph was organized, it's organized in two parts, the reading section and the writing section. Okay? So if you see that, thank you. If you see that,
You're welcome.
you're halfway there, right? And everything else falls into place. Okay? So reading is all about this automatically seeing a word. Writing, I want you to slow down a little bit. Don't just use the first word that comes to mind. Think about your words. Okay? Does everyone see how that works? So we're going to go look at our homework and try to apply those things to our homework. Let me put my shoes back. I don't move coffee without my shoes. Okay, before we go to break, I'm going to give you a little handout. And this is kind of my version of the part that you read in the textbook for homework. This is why Lorraine Fleming ended up writing her own textbook. Teachers, there are things that I like about her textbooks and things that I don't. I see why teachers write their own books. And what I don't know is how they ever have time to write them. But I have done some little handouts that are kind of my version of it. So, like I said, I don't care if you would like to adopt this list of marks, that's perfectly fine with me, but I'm not requiring you to do it. What I do want you to look for, and like I say, try to develop your own system of doing is, because I wanted to look at this as we looked at the homework. is to look for these things as you go. Here it is right here. Where's my little thing? Okay. Oh, did you not get one? Oh, thank you. Sometimes I don't, I can't talk and count at the same time. Okay, so this is, you know, this, the other good thing about this, the textbook is fine, but this is something, every time we have a reading and writing exercise, you could conceivably pull this out of your binder, set it on the table next to you, and use it as a checklist. Okay? Read paragraphs through at least twice, and that will become automaticity to you. You will do it, you kind of do it, as we keep going in this class, you kind of learn to glance it over first, which I've been encouraging you to do. Looking for certain things, okay? Like, there are 5 reasons people buy things. Once you see that, you're home free. Say, okay, that's it. There's a difference between reading and writing. Okay, this is going to talk about the 2 things, all right? So, our first thing that we said here, read and highlight the title, okay? And if there's no title, read the first sentence. Often, but not always, what the paragraph will talk about is in the first sentence. Ask yourself a question about it. So here, we would have highlighted this and asked ourselves that question. What's the difference? Okay. In this paragraph, which is on your homework, so let's get your homework out and start looking at it along with this list of things. Okay. In 1978, when a Boeing 747 plunged into the Arabian Sea, people speculated about political terrorism. What does this word mean?
Presumed or assumed?
Yeah, they thought maybe that was what happened, okay? So if we were gonna ask a question about this sentence without looking at the rest of it, what question do we ask here? Does any question, think about this sentence. In 1978, when a Boeing 747 plunged into the Arabian Sea, people thought it might be political terrorism. The question is, what question do you have? It's your question.
Why?
Okay.
Did it crash?
Why did it crash? Okay, yeah. Was it terrorism?
Were the pilots terrorists? Or was the
Yeah.
pilot a terrorist?
Yeah, was the pilot, okay. That's another interesting thing, because our knowledge of planes and terrorism is,
And what was the purpose?
okay, yeah, that the pilots were in on, the people who were flying the plane at the time were somebody who was in on it. People who had taken it over. What about the year? Is anyone surprised that we were talking about planes and terrorism back in 1978?
No.
No, we just didn't hear about it.
Okay. Any younger people surprised by that? Yeah. So there's a question for you guys. I mean, yes, it was going on, but your generation especially tends to think of planes and terrorism equals 9/11, right? So younger people's questions might be,
Not in 78.
yeah,
Not
Probably
78.
Back then, a lot of people were like preaching and protesting about anti-war back then, and
yes.
a lot
yeah.
of people who were benefiting off war back from
Yeah.
Vietnam and others,
Good.
they were actually doing a lot of domestic terrorism.
Yes, good. So you have some good prior knowledge of this. Yeah. So to some of us, this is surprising that terrorism was going on this long ago. But this is a good clue, the political. Yeah, probably a little bit different from the terrorism. Although there were still, there was always somebody who was saying, everybody should believe what I believe, okay? So is this going to be about political terrorism?
No, it's not.
No. Okay, so guess what? What's this? Yeah, there's your reversal transition, okay? Then we glance at it and say, okay, if it's not about terrorism, yeah, and then I glance through it. Do you see terrorism again? Nope, no more mentions of terrorism. What do you see repeated? Okay,
That the plane did not catch on fire. And
Okay. yeah, so we have the airplane,
There's no
the
signs of
airplane,
malfunction.
yeah, okay. The airplane, so yeah, you've got the recorders, the black boxes, functioning, the controls functioning normally, the cockpit, the pilot, okay, the perfectly sound airplane. So this is something about the airplane, its functioning, and the pilot, okay? So here's what we just did without looking at our list. Look for key words or phrases. Okay, plane, not terrorism, as we might have first thought, but plane, pilot, controls. Look for any reversal transitions. Okay, so see, this is a good list to just use as a checklist. Look for a phrase that indicates a list of things. Does this one have a phrase like, there are 5 reasons this was not terrorism? No. There's no, it doesn't have a formal introduction to a list, but we'll see if we can make a list of this. And these two go along with each other, as you know from the 5 reasons for buying. Then it said the first reason people buy things is this. Also, additionally, so there's a lot of words that go in here. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So we did this. That's what he's thinking. What question does the title bring up? Or the first sentence, we did this. What prior knowledge do you have? So JD could write down, yeah, lots of this back then. Yeah. But yes, that's fine. The point is that you need to be interacting with what you read. The more you interact, the better you're going to remember what you read. Okay? What test questions, if you had this in a history class, what's the pop quiz question going to be on this?
What is the main idea of this paragraph?
No, that's for this class. That would be for this class. But what about a history class?
What was the reason the plane crashed?
What?
What would the purpose be of the plane crash?
Okay, yeah, what really did happen to this plane? If it wasn't terrorism, what happened?
Right, political terrorism, maybe.
Well, this is what this is saying. It has a reversal transition, and this paragraph. Now, here's another thing about this.
But it has another reversal transition
it?
as well.
Where's the other one? Oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, but is that, okay, Sandra, here's the thing. Is that the key? Or does that turn the whole paragraph around? This one?
No.
That's another thing we'll learn to look for. This is called the key reversal transition. This turns this sentence around, but it doesn't turn the whole paragraph around. And that's good. You caught that too. It's not key, but it is a reversal transition. Okay. So what doesn't say there's going to be a list, but what is the list in this paragraph? There is a list. As the Indian Navy began to salvage, what does this word mean?
Salvage.
To pick up
Gathered.
Gathered it up, saved. It comes from save, salvation. It comes from saving. Okay. The investigators found no signs of heat, fire, or in-flight breakup.
Actually,
It kind of
that's my dad.
semi-quasi listed your, everything that they picked up, the boxes, the
Yeah.
recorders.
Yeah.
That's your list
Salvaging,
without
yeah.
numbering
Basically
it.
means go, because so the plane was at the bottom of the ocean and they went down and got this stuff. Okay, no fire, no breakup, okay? The airplane's crash-proof black boxes and voice recorders. What's a black box on a phone?
Records everything.
Yeah, record, it's something, remember when this plane, the Malaysian plane disappeared? Remember this big thing with that plane that disappeared, what was it, last summer? Last
March.
Last March,
Yeah.
okay. The big mystery about that was that they stopped getting transmissions from the black box. The black boxes are something they invented they were relatively new in 1978. They invented them so that when something happened to a plane, these black boxes are like safes. They're supposed to be watertight, airtight, indestructible. They're on every plane, and theoretically, even if a plane burns or goes down to the ocean, crashes, falls to pieces, they can still find that little safe. And in that safe is electronic recording of everything that happened. So they can hear what the pilot said, it records everything the plane is doing, whether the engine failed. So the weird thing about the Malaysian one was that somehow got turned off really early in the game. If they had, the other thing it does, it transmits the location. So now with the GPS, it has that in it too. And they should have been able to find that plane using the black box, but it just stopped sending. So they did get the black box out of this, and that's what they're called, is black boxes, because that's what they look like. They're these little black boxes. They were intact. What does this mean? What's intact? Yeah, black boxes, yeah. So black boxes, okay. Black box was okay. The airplane's engines and controls were normal. So you see what I'm doing over here? I'm making a list of what's going on. But something in the cockpit had gone wrong. So that's what that reversal transition is doing. Something went, what's the cockpit?
The front of the plane.
Yeah, that's where the pilots sit, yeah, okay. The fault appeared to be the pilots.
And they still haven't found that plane.
Yeah. Well, they found this one, but they didn't find that Malaysian one. No, they still haven't found the Malaysian one. I don't know, there's something weird there, yeah. Okay, so what do I have a list of here?
A list of,
what happened?
A list of what happened that this piece is saying proves it wasn't terrorism. Okay, so this is another thing about these lists. Look for a list, even if you don't have something that says here is a list, there might be one, okay? On the second read-through, now that was just the first read-through. What is this about? It's about a plane that crashed because of pilot fault. What is the author trying to tell me this week? Okay, is there a list of items? What does the list illustrate? Okay, I'm very big on lists. Is the paragraph organized in parts? Is there a single sentence that tells me everything the author is saying? Okay. This I think is an easier to get at list of things that you can do as far as your marginal notes and highlight. Okay? Okay, before we go on a break, let's just finish up this one. So now, if you have done this kind of work, this should be easy. Does this look like what we wrote down?
No.
No.
I put that.
Does this look like what we wrote down?
No.
No. Does this look like what we wrote down?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
See what I'm getting at?
Yes.
Yeah. So this should be right. Okay? Okay, let's take a break until 2:17, and then we'll come back and we didn't get through all of these last time, but we'll get through as many as we can.
You get C for the other one too? I got C for the next one.
Yeah.
I got two C's in a row. And then I got,
Good.
I made a mess on my table, so paragraph. I had to make it separate.